So hello everybody, my name's Lydia and welcome back to my channel. Yee! And I'm in eating disorder recovery and I'm so excited to be able to say that I am now 6 months into my recovery journey. So you may or may not know my journey so far, so I will give a little debrief of that. So it started in November 2019 when I decided one night to create a recovery Instagram account, but I was kind of in quasi-recovery all the way up until April 2020 when I went all in. So I went all in and everything was absolutely great, but it was all done over lockdown. So when it came to August and I came outside again and had to go back to normal life, back to school, back to everything, it went wrong. So August to January 2021, and then from January 2021 up until March 2021 was the first 3 months of what I'm classing as my recovery right now, of these 6 months. And I was on a meal plan for those 3 months, just kind of like weight restoring and sorting myself out, learning to eat again. I did have a wobble at the end of March, but then from April to now I have been all in recovery, and obviously it's not been linear, but it has actually been happening, which is really, really great. So what have I done in recovery so far in these 6 months? I've got to a healthy weight. I guess that's kind of the first thing. I've got to a healthy weight and I've kind of stabilised. I'm not saying I'm weight restored because I might gain more weight, I might lose weight, who knows. I'm just kind of letting my body do what it wants to with me eating more intuitively and well and like enjoying food. So it might go up, it might stay the same, might go down, might go up and then down again and then up, and who knows. Like, we're just gonna let it do what it's gonna do and go from there. So that's like one very big thing that I've done in these first 6 months. I've beaten most of my fear foods. I've got a few left. I am planning on doing a video where I do them all like in one day, like I just smash through them, because like there's not that many and it is possible to do them all in one day. Obviously they wouldn't be beaten because you have to challenge repeat, and I haven't like beaten every single one of my fear foods, but I have like at least like tackled at least once the majority of them and got over like a lot of them. Like I can eat in a restaurant now and like have a plate of food that doesn't have a fear food on it because they're no longer my fear foods. This is kind of the same with food rules. Like, I'm less ruly about it. If I just want a plate of pasta, I'll have a plate of pasta with like nothing else. If all I want is carbs, I'll have carbs. I'm not going to just add vegetables because I feel I need to. Yeah, it does happen that I do have pasta with melted butter. Don't know why, it just hits different, that one, it hits different. I stopped calorie counting. For me, this one wasn't actually that difficult because I was never like fully addicted to calorie counting, because it kind of just got to the point where like my restriction was so much there was like kind of no point, and like when I calorie counted, it didn't work for my eating disorder, but I did calorie count at times and like used it. But I stopped that completely. Basically, during my eating disorder, I would calorie count on and off, and I basically just wiped that out, deleted all the apps, because like I used to like weight track in these apps and photos. I deleted all of that. I don't have access to that anymore. It's completely gone, which has been an absolute godsend to my recovery. I do have some tips for if you want to stop calorie counting. Like buy different brands of food where you don't know the exact calories already, because I know a lot of people struggle with just like totting it up in their head, which is something I've actually been doing more recently than I should have been. Like, I never do the whole day, but I'll be like, oh, I had this much for lunch, which I don't want to do that, so I do need to like work on that a little bit more. But like, honestly, I don't track my calories at all now. I'm more relaxed around timings of food. That kind of goes with the food rules. Like, I can have breakfast at 10 and not 8, or I can have it at 6 and not 10. So I'm more relaxed around timings around food. Timings around my like general life and kind of OCD tendencies, no, but around food it has relaxed, which is a lot nicer. I've healed my relationship with exercise, which is something that I do want to do a video on, because it kind of became a thing for me in December of 2020. It became quite compulsive and not very nice. Like, I will say that I did take 3 months basically off exercise altogether, not even really walking my dog. Like, there was nothing, and now I can like confidently say that I've healed my relationship with exercise. For example, I plan to do a workout today. I woke up feeling a bit rubbish and I haven't done it, and I don't plan on doing it, and I don't plan on making up for that in any way whatsoever. Another example, I don't like count the calories I burn when I play hockey now. Like, I just enjoy playing hockey. Yeah, I plan on doing a video on this, so I don't really want to talk about it too much. And then the same goes with compulsive movement. I don't like feel the need to hit like a certain amount of steps every day, or to move my leg or my arm in a certain way when I'm sat down doing nothing. Like, I can just relax. There was a time where I struggled with like having to get out of bed at a certain time, and that's kind of relaxed more now as well. And finally, I am finally accepting myself and my recovering body, and I don't hate it. It's not that bad, okay? I thought I would hate it when I was ill, but I don't, and that's such a nice feeling. However, things I do need to work on are things like I do need to accept that I may gain more weight, and like I think my brain just finds it harder to justify that because I don't need to anymore, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's something that I'm going to be working on. I need to work on my last fear foods and food rules, which is something that I do want to do a video on, so that you may see that. With recovery also comes feelings, like you feel so numb when you're restricting, and I've suddenly got all these feelings and I don't know what to do with them, because I'm either incredibly like ecstatically happy or just so sad, crying my eyes out for hours on end last night. I need to like find a way of processing these emotions in a healthier way than just trying to numb them all with restriction, which I haven't been doing, but it's been tempting, I'm not gonna lie. I need to learn how to deal with all of my triggers and like what triggers me and what doesn't. I need to learn those because I need to prepare for university. That's the kind of next step in my life. I get my results tomorrow and hopefully they'll say that I go to university. So far I'm thinking I will be, and I need to be able to sustain recovery in uni. And if that means, for example, going on another meal plan just for the start of uni to try and keep myself accountable and like have something to work towards, that means that. It doesn't mean that I've regressed in my recovery. It doesn't mean that I'm eating less or eating more. It just means that I'm ensuring and protecting my recovery against a stressful situation which could cause me to go backwards, and I don't want it, like, because then that would just be repeating the cycle that I've been in for so long, where like I do well over summer and then I just fall down in September. And I want to learn from my mistakes, you know. I don't really want that. I want to be able to continue university and not be sent home. I want to be able to continue university and not have moments like I've had over my school life where like I just haven't wanted to be there at all because all I wanted to do was restrict. I just want to enjoy my university experience, and so I'm going to try and put the foundations in place now so that it's not as difficult. It's still going to be difficult, but it's not as difficult when I get to uni. So now, hello, I am going to answer some of your questions. Also, Row Recovering did a video like this recently, so it's kind of inspired by that. I don't want to take all the credit, but also like I was going to do this anyway. It's been in my planner for a long time. So I'm just going to go through some of these. I won't get through all of them, sorry. And now they're mowing the lawn. This happened last year. Stop mowing the lawn. What do you do to get yourself back on track after a relapse? I actually have a meal plan. This sounds so odd, but I have a meal plan that I will fall back to if I find myself restricting, which is actually something I'm doing at the moment because I have been struggling recently, but I don't want to talk about it until I'm not struggling anymore, and then I can look at it objectively. To get myself back on track after a relapse, I look at as many motivating posts that I have saved as possible on Instagram. I watch recovery YouTube videos, I watch my comfort movies, I don't usually talk about it, and I fall back onto a meal plan that I have already. That's like a kind of maintenance one that works for me. So if you can do that, do that. How have you been finding letting go of regimental rules? Have you been feeling more like my true self? I think so. Yes, I have. I do feel more like myself. I feel better. I'm finally finding like me, even when it's difficult at times to accept myself. I think I am finding myself just a little bit, and I'm not quite as bad as I thought I was. So, have I ever been in quasi-recovery? If so, how did I get out of it? I was from November until April, and I got out of it by getting bored of my eating disorder. Honestly, I was so bored of it. I was like, no, I don't want this anymore. And giving myself permission to eat everything that I wanted to eat, and that really worked for me. It's really hard to tell people how to start recovery because for me, it kind of just happened. I'm very rubbish, but like, Do you want to like live the rest of your life with an eating disorder? That's the real question you have to ask yourself, and that's the real hard one, because if you don't recover now, you're going to get to 80 years old and think, wow, I already wasted my entire life, because I already feel so guilty that I like wasted so much of my life on this. So imagine if I was 80 and I'd wasted even more. Like, that is the scariest thought to me. For me, it's scarier to think that I'll have an eating disorder for the rest of my life than it is to think maybe I could actually try and recover. You're not going to regret it. No one that recovers ever regrets it. So to me, that's a sign that it's a good thing to do. Next question. Some of you asked a lot of questions. How am I doing? I'm doing good. What's been the hardest part of recovery, and what was not as bad as you expected? Weight gain hasn't been as bad as I expected it to be, because I kind of accepted that I had to gain weight in order to recover. If you are recovering from an eating disorder that made you lose weight, you cannot recover without gaining weight. And I kind of accepted that really early on this time, and so that's actually been not as bad as I thought. I think what's been worse is kind of the sneaky ways that anorexia gets in, like well done, you restricted that even when you didn't mean to restrict something. I think that's the hardest part for me, is like a little bits like that, and not letting that kind of spill out of control, like the sneakiness. What should I do if I don't have a meal plan and don't know how much I should eat? I think maybe speak to a relative or a doctor. Not me. I can't tell you how much to eat. You need to be eating enough. If you need to gain weight, you need to be eating enough to be gaining weight on like a regular basis. It doesn't matter how fast or how slow, no one cares. Literally no one cares, but you do need to do it. So it's kind of better to get it over and done with. If you don't need to gain weight and you just kind of need to maintain and you're struggling, you need to test things out. Don't count calories. People that say they count calories to check that they're eating enough, I don't believe them personally. I think you just need to, like, you know how your body feels. You don't need to count the calories. You like ask people around you what a normal amount of food is, and start with that and change it. You might need more, you might need less, you might need 3 times the amount that someone else does, but like, I do think that's kind of a good place to start. Someone with a healthy relationship with food to help you. What helped me most in my recovery? Probably this account. I don't think I'd be where I am now without this account or my psychologist. What advice would I give myself 6 months ago? What was I doing? I've got a video of me 6 months ago. It's online. Wait, no, it's not online. I never uploaded it. What was I doing? I was sat in the office doing my schoolwork. I say, keep going. You've decided this now. It was really spontaneous and you didn't expect to... Oh my god, I literally had no... Oh, it happened. It was so cute. It was New Year's Eve, and like New Year's Day, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was on my new laptop that I got for Christmas. I was so happy. I decided I wanted to make a PowerPoint, and I made a PowerPoint of my recovery plan, and I showed it to my friends in the morning because we were having like a chat on Zoom, and I presented it, and then they kind of convinced me to actually do it instead of putting it in the recycling bin, and I did it, and I've not stopped since, and it's just, I'm quite happy with how that's gone, I guess. So my advice would be to me 6 months ago, just make the decision. Do I regret broadcasting my recovery process online, and has it been detrimental? I don't regret it, but there have been points where it's been detrimental and not helpful. But I think that I would have come across points in my life that would be detrimental and unhelpful regardless of whether I was recovering online or not, or like broadcasting it online. I think overall it's actually been a really positive experience for me personally, and I wouldn't be where I am now without it, so I don't regret it. Although there are bits I would change, like some DMs that I get. Do I ever lie to my therapist? My psych, I love her, she's great. Very sad to be leaving her actually because I'm moving. Yeah, I have done. Not now, but I used to. Not recovery based, but what's your favourite violin piece to play? At the moment, it is Presto. Did I lose my period? How long did it take to get back? No, I didn't lose my period. And that's something that I felt really invalid about for quite a while. But you know what? It's okay if you don't lose your period. What did it feel like when you chose real recovery? Freeing, but also terrifying at the same time, which they really contradict with each other and make it all really difficult, but that's how it felt. freeing and terrifying. So if you feel terrified, if you're choosing real recovery and you feel absolutely petrified, that's normal and it's good. It means you're doing the right thing. What are you looking forward to challenge and overcome in the future? Pins and needles. Getting rid of those. Uni. I think that's my biggest challenge now that's coming up. Got to prepare for that. Did you have problems with food allergies, IBS or digestion due to your eating disorder? I think a lot of people struggle with digestion issues. IBS, I mean, I was never diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, so I don't know, but I don't have any allergies. I'm quite lucky on that one. Digestion issues are still a thing for me. I'm still kind of waiting for that, which is why I don't believe that I'm fully weight restored, because I think at the moment I'm just repairing my insides. So a lot of you are asking like, what's like my biggest achievement in recovery? Lasting this long. I don't really have like a biggest achievement. I have so many achievements. Maybe bananas and avocado. Those are my biggest fear foods and I can eat them now. And I don't know. I think my biggest achievement would probably be being able to exercise without the eating disorder mentality. And finally, how did I tips for anyone wanting to reintroduce exercise into their lifestyle? Do it really slowly. Like I started with yoga. Like do it so slowly and kind of check in with yourself every time. Am I doing this for a disorder reason? Am I doing this for an aesthetic reason? Am I tired? Am I this? Like, do not exercise if you're tired. Do not exercise to look a certain way. Do not exercise to burn a certain amount of calories. And do not exercise to be able to allow yourself to eat more food. Like, those are the wrong reasons. And if you're exercising, or whilst you're exercising you're thinking, oh, I'm doing it for this reason, stop. Like, just stop doing it. It's not helpful. You have to be prepared to, like, if you're following a workout video, for example, to stop your workout halfway through because you're tired. I've done that. It's fine to do that. Sometimes I do a workout and I want to do another workout afterwards because I feel great. Sometimes I don't even want to start one. And you shouldn't if you don't want to. But start really slowly. Maybe just like gentle stretching, gentle movements, going on a walk. And then as you kind of build up a healthy relationship with that, it becomes easier to build up a healthier relationship with whatever other exercise you want to do. If you did like this video, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel. I hope it's been kind of helpful, insightful, kind of updated you on what I'm going to be doing next, and I hope to see you next week for another video because I'm just so excited.